Okay, Jamie, you were at Coney this morning, I presume. How did the news go down that Bryan Gunn's the new Norwich manager?
Very well. I mean, the boys have all got on very well with him. Come in obviously the other week before the Barnsley game. Did his little bits, not like a major input, but did enough. And I think everyone's very pleased that he's got a job.
The chairman told us this morning that there was a few players said after Saturday's game that they'd quite like Bryan in charge permanently. Were you one of those players?
Yeah, I was sort of involved. I mean, it was sort of boys were sort of having a bit of banter. Obviously, it was, the result was very good. Everyone was on a high, and the chairman obviously comes in as he always does. And I think a few of the boys have thrown it around, and I don't know if that's got him the job, but if it has, then obviously fair play.
Obviously, the fact that he's relates well to the fans has been a big part in this appointment. Do you think that's important?
Yeah, I think so. I think with how things were going, and everyone seemed to feel we lost that, the fan sort of side of it, and just the family sort of side of it. So I think everyone wanted people to come in who had a big connection with the club, knew about the place, knew the people around the city and stuff. And I think in obviously giving it to Bryan and obviously John Dean and Crook, then you've got everything in that. They've all got a massive history with the club, so I think it will work.
Yeah, John Dean and Ian Crook, two men you know well, I presume.
Yeah.
John's first spell with the club not so successful, in all honesty. But what do you think he can add to what Bryan Gunn brings?
I think he's got the experience. Obviously, the gaffer now is going to need that, and I think he's got on very well with John. Played under him, and he classed him a very good friend. And I think he's obviously been around. Since leaving here, he's been at other clubs, and I think his managerial experience will basically be what the gaffer will need. And obviously with Ian, he's a very good player here. He's been abroad coaching and managing. So again, it's experience, and I think that's what the gaffer needs. He accepts that it's not something that he's really probably been thinking about until last week, and now he's been given it. He needs sort of everyone on side who can help him, and those two will do that.
Of course, Ian Crook's got to come back from Australia. Has also coached in Japan. You know what that culture shock's like coming back from that area of the world. How's he going to adjust?
I'm not sure. I mean, I wasn't away for too long. He's been away, for many years. So I'm sure he'll be fine. He's a bubbly character, and I'm sure he'll come in and fit straight in. I've said to a lot of the players that, I'm sure they get on very well with him. He's technically probably one of the best players I've played with. And he was always good around the change rooms and stuff. So I'm sure he's not changed. Looking forward to working with him again, really.
Just a moment on Bryan and training since he's been involved. Has it been much different? Any big changes?
No, not really. Not in what we do. Pretty much it's been the same. I mean, because it's been so quick happening. I think the plan that they've had in place for obviously the weekend not playing and stuff. I think we've stuck to that. So it's not changed that much as in what we do. It's probably just the way things are being done. There just seems a bit more. Laughter, a bit more of a buzz. Maybe that's because of the win as well. But in general, the training sort of is the same as what we do. I'm sure it might change now when obviously Ian comes in, and obviously the gaffer gets sort of more into his job. But really, since sort of last week, I think it's sort of been pretty much the same.
And of course, the feel-good factor from the weekend and the appointment, was that all there at Coney this morning? Yeah,
definitely. There's a buzz around the place again. We're happy with obviously who's in charge. I'd say probably the result more than anything is give everyone a big lift, and it's been nice to be around the place. Obviously I haven't been here for a while, been away, so I'm not sure how it was going, but from watching the other Tuesday, it seemed very low, and I think everyone's spirits are a lot higher now.
That's great, Jamie. Thank you.
Is it going to be a bit of a blast from the past? Obviously, you, John, Bryan, and Ian all in the same place again.
Yeah, it sort of makes me feel a bit old now. I mean, John gave me my debut at the club, and I played with Ian, so I'm sure they're probably wondering why I'm still playing, to be honest. But yeah, it is. But I think it's just what the place needed. Everyone knows them. Their characters. They know the city well, and yeah, I'm looking forward to working with both of them. John's already said that I owe him money. Which I found surprising, and asked him why, and he said, well, I'll give you a chance in football. So he's still got good banter, and he'd be good to have around the place, to be honest. And Chippy's exactly the same. So I think it's good, and it's down to us now to basically do the business on the pitch and make them proud.
When was the last time you'd have seen Ian?
When I left, really, which is obviously a long time ago, 13 years ago. So it's been a while, but I'm sure he hasn't changed. It'd be interesting to see what his accent's like, because it was obviously very strong Cockney. So it'd be interesting to see that. But I'm sure it'd be the same. And you know, obviously, same training ground. The place hasn't really changed that much. I'm sure he'd fit right in and you know, get on well with the boys.
It's a really big statement that the board have made in employing 3 people who have such a big Norwich pedigree, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was what everyone was calling out for. But you know, you have to pick the right people, and you know, hopefully they've gone and done that, because it was easy. I mean, there's loads of footballers out there that play for Norwich that have a big connection, that are managers or coaches, that you could have brought in anyone. But you know, hopefully we've got the right 3. And like I said, it's now up to the players and obviously the staff to get together now and push this club on.
Just on Bryan, he's obviously highly thought of. He's been around the club for a long time. This is a brave move for him, isn't it? Because this is probably a make or break.
Yeah. I think he knows it's the one job that, you know, he's taken at this club that could go and backfire on him. And I'm sure his status will never change. But obviously, it's one of these jobs now that it could, you know, turn out sour. Every other job he's done is, you know, he's never really had that sort of pressure on him. But he's obviously been here for so long, and he was taking loads of jobs, and he's obviously been around and done everything, you know, sheriffed a lot. So it was only a matter of time probably till he took the manager's job. But he seemed very proud today. You know, he was very pleased and thanked the lads really for the performance, because he feels that the commitment we showed him, you know, everyone out there, that it was a credit, and that's probably part of the reason why he's got the job. So he's thanked us today, and you can see how proud he is. And I'm sure, you know, he will do his utmost to do well for this club. And like I said, it's down to us now to repay that. You know, he's stuck by a lot of the players. He obviously called me back. So yeah, we sort of owe him, and hopefully we can do well and keep him in the job for a long time.
Top stuff.